You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Welcome back to the Nerds Podcast. Oh my God, we're going to deep dive into Fantastic Four. This is a spoiler show, so please, if you haven't seen Fantastic Four yet, go back and actually watch our no spoiler review so you can know if you want to watch it. You should. So, with that said, Pete and Co are here. Nerds Podcast, Fantastic Four. For us, it's Fantastic 3, and we'll take that any time of the week. And if you do like our show, please don't forget, like, subscribe, share. It's good to share. It's a beautiful world. And we go into Fantastic Four, done correctly for the first time ever. Finally, the Fantastic Four are back. The first family of Marvel. Can you believe it? Pete and Co. I just want to dive into this so hard, but I got to break this down. I want to really break this down and things of that nature. And we'll all take turns on this, but Pete, was Mr. Fantastic done correctly for this show?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, it wasn't overdone. Like, they weren't like him using his powers was gradual. It was very like within his regular movements. It didn't seem like it was, let's show off his powers. Let's show him just stretching for no reason. It was very different from the first two. I didn't see the one with Michael B. Jordan. I didn't see that one, but I compare him to the first two, but not in a bad way. But it's very different tone. This was done in like the 60s. The time that the time of the movie was in the 60s. Very different tone, and it didn't seem, and I don't mean it in a bad way, cheesy like the first two. But Mr. Fantastic was, fantastic. I thought he was great. Pascal portrayed Reed. He portrayed him well, and I mean, I think we don't expect anything less from him. He's in like every other movie that's coming out right now, and it's because people watch what he's in. People watch The Last of Us, and then people stopped watching The Last of Us when he was killed off. He's in a lot of things right now. He's the it guy, but he did an amazing job here. It's not just it's not for any other reason other than the fact that he can act. He's really good. He's a good actor, and I've seen him in different roles already, and he's got range. So definitely loved his portrayal of Reed Richards.
I liked his mannerisms. In thinking about the movie after watching it, I thought that, the way he displayed less emotion about things, being that Reed Richards is kind of like that, this intellect, this smart guy. I agree with you. Co, I got to ask you, because the mustache was a big thing for you when it came to Ross and Captain America. Our first episode ever. And I want to mention that because this is our 50th episode ever. Congratulations, Pete. Congratulations, Co. You made it to 50.
Congratulations, Cuba.
Episodes, but you guys are both amazing, by the way. And I love doing this show. I hope we can do this show for as long as we can. And I mentioned that, and I wanted to drop that in because in our first episode, Co, you were bothered that Ross didn't have a stash. Reed Richards, for the most part, doesn't have a stash. Was it an issue for you?
Not at all. He looked fine to me. And, also, they didn't exaggerate the gray hairs on the side. He had them, but it wasn't exaggerated. So, they did very well.
But tell me, did you think Pedro Pascal gave you your real Mr. Fantastic on screen?
No, he definitely did. I mean, for me, I love the way he's been doing all his, just like Pete was saying, his range is so large. And I hope he continues to grow. And in our non-spoiler review, I was saying that I would like for him to blossom into the Denzel Washington of the Latino community, because I think he has that talent to actually take it there. So Pedro Pascal actually showed me a very solid and grounded Reed Richards as I'm known to love. Although I do want to give a shout out to the one that played Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness, in the Doctor Strange one, which he was eliminated very quickly, and the way he went out was wow. I guess that's the way you get rid of Reed Richards and not just stretch him like Galactus was doing. But all in all, yeah, Pedro did a great job, and I can't wait to see him continue playing this role.
No, it was amazing to see Pedro. I think definitely for me delivered it. But for both of you guys, what was your favorite scene for Reed Richards?
I'll jump in on that. When he was when Sue was giving birth, it was so cool. Like Pete was stating, he wasn't exaggerated with his powers, but I did catch that his legs, since they're in space and they're rotating, his legs was actually all the way grounded while he's helping Sue give birth. And that small detail right there, I loved. What about you, Pete?
When he was fighting Galactus before the stretching part, it was very gradual, but just him moving up to try to get higher, and he's using his powers to stretch, to reach where he's got to grab next, and there's debris falling, and he's using that to move up. But it just seemed very effortless, very seamless, and it looked good. It looked really good, and that goes for all of them.
Yeah, no, we're going to break down each of these characters because, again, we've seen them play in so many different ways with so many different actors. Like, you think of Michael B. Jordan, that's an A-class actor for me, for the most part. And for Joseph Quinn, who played Human Torch in here, he played off the playboy for me. He played off the intellect as well. He was part of the team, and that's the next person I'm going to go to. Did you guys agree with? Because the big thing about people are saying is just that the casting was a little off. There's a big debate about that stuff. I thought they hit the nail on the head, but for Cole, I'll go Cole first. Did the Human Torch give you what you wanted? As you've seen this role played so many different ways, and then tell me what your favorite scene with Human Torch was.
I'm glad that you came to me with this one. The Human Torch, aka Johnny Storm. I was not particularly happy with the casting. Yes, I was one of those that wasn't too sure. I remember when Marvel came out with the casting poster and they told us who was going to play. And when I looked at Johnny, I was like, okay, let's see where can you take this character. So I would have to say he was not my favorite Johnny Storm. It would be Chris Evans. Although I feel the writing for Chris Evans was a little more, it was too hardcore for him as far as him being a dick to Ben, and also, how can I say, being a womanizer and stuff like that. That was a little too exaggerated for me, but I did like Chris Evans as the Human Torch. Then you got Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan has no fault in this. This was the writing that they gave him, and he did the best he could, and he was actually pretty decent. Not bad. A more serious character, more taken aback, and he took his role very seriously, and the Human Torch didn't have that womanizer, or he wasn't like a playboy, shall I say. With this right here, this casting with this actor, he did a phenomenal job because of the writing, because of the positions that they put him in. So for me, one of my favorite parts for the Human Torch in this movie was, well, obviously he did the 4, which I love. Right?
Gotta do it.
Gotta have the 4 up there. That's why I love this movie so much, is because they put everything that we know about the Fantastic Four into one movie, and it just ran seamlessly. But the Human Torch, when he got the attention of his family, and actually went to the Silver Surfer and spoke to her and contribute to helping the cause of defeating Galactus. That for me was my favorite part. How he took the time to dissect her language and then figure out the type of person she was. Also, visually, when he grabbed the Silver Surfer's board, that shot was so awesome. Him, obviously, he's out of orbit, so he cannot ignite and flame. There's no oxygen up there. But while he's holding the surfboard, just for a brief moment, you see the Silver Surfer lean down, and then you see like the sun in the back. That shot right there was amazing for me.
P, I'm gonna go with you with Ben Grimm. I need you to tell me, did you like the way it looked, the way he talked? I know in the non-spoiler review you like the sounds and things of that nature, but walk me through what you saw with the Thing. The Thing, baby. Look at the background.
Again, this was is again, like I said before in the non-spoiler review, they used motion capture instead of a practical suit like they did in the previous ones, and it looked amazing. It looked great. All of them looked great as when using their powers, and of course he's not using his powers. That's him 24/7. But he was, this guy was actually, he played Micro in the Punisher series, and he was also in Andor. We don't get to see much of him in his human form, but that's the same actor. But all around, great job on the CGI for him, because that's always, I think that's one of the, it looks like it's one of the harder characters to pull off in live action. And again, which way do they go? Do they go a practical suit, or did they go CGI? I think we look at something like what we grew up on. We grew up on the Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno was the Hulk, and then when we're watching these movies now, that's done in motion capture. So they did have it practical back then, but now they have it CGI. But the Hulk isn't as difficult to do as the Thing is, because you think about it, he's covered. His skin is rocks. So, great job all the way around on that.
And what was your favorite scene with the Thing?
Fighting Galactus, and when he was just going through those pillars, just running right through them.
Yeah, he dropped the building on Galactus, bro. Yeah. That's crazy. That was kind of crazy. And listen, I gotta tell you, I had a problem with the beard. I had a problem with the Thing's beard, that he was growing out a beard. I don't know where that's from. Have you guys seen that in any comic books or heard of this?
I think it is in the comics, but I wasn't a fan of it either. It's not what we're used to, but yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, and I disagree with both of you guys. I thought the beard looked great. The stash was even better. He looked phenomenal with that. I just need him to shave it off from time to time, but I was okay with the beard.
Oh no, it was like, it wasn't a thing for me. I didn't want to see it and things of that nature.
Remember, Johnny told him, you saw when he was shaving, he was like, oh, you know what, you should let it grow, because he had the patches. I thought that was funny.
No, like I said, that was a hard miss for me. I want to all of us discuss Sue, because my biggest fear from the interviews that I saw is that I felt like Sue was going to overpower Reed Richards. That's what I thought was going to happen. And it wasn't that. It was very much that they pretty much complemented each other throughout this movie. And I've seen where Reed Richards is like so much smarter than Sue, and Sue gets down and things of that nature. But while Sue for me was amazing, probably the best, and I know Petra's going to say Jessica Alba, let's not leave her short. But I thought Vanessa Kirby, like, if she doesn't get a nomination for something, and I know, again, I've said it in the Emmys video, if you watch it, these superhero movies get snubbed a little bit, but the best acting wasn't Pedro Pascal for me. It was Vanessa Kirby. And I want to go a round table on this one, and I'm going to go back to Pete, and then I'm going to go to Cody, you next. What did you see in Sue Storm because I'll tell you right now, my favorite scene with Sue Storm was when she made the baby transparent and you could see the baby through the stomach. Like,
That was cool.
Never thought of that, and the fact that she could do that, my God. But Pete, walk me through what you saw. Sue Storm, talk to me.
Yeah, that part was. But isn't she? Is it? I know Reed is smarter, but isn't she stronger? Isn't she stronger than him? Because she's no slouch, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Listen, my favorite Sue Storm scene is in Civil War, Co. And I know we brought this back as well. She was arguing with Reed Richards because he had created the fake Thor in Civil War that killed. I forget the guy's name.
Hercules.
No, she created a Thor that killed the guy that got big, the black superhero. It's off the top of my head. He can get big and small. Yes.
Goliath. Yeah.
She was upset that the Thor had killed Goliath, and she got so upset that she built the invisible ball and made it so heavy that it went through the whole Baxter building. Like, that's Sue Storm for me. And that's the Sue Storm that I saw push Galactus. But again, Pete, I apologize.
No, it's all right. I kind of posed the question to you by asking if she wasn't. She is stronger than Reed. The speech in front of the building when they wanted, and you felt it when she was like, "I'm not giving up my child," and she wasn't, and then it came out to that she wasn't doing any type of sacrifice, a sacrifice for her child or a sacrifice for the planet. No, I agree with you there that she was, and everybody, I think everybody's a fan of Jessica Alba playing Sue Storm. But as far as what she brought to the table was Vanessa Kirby right now. I mean, she really but I think everybody had to do their part. It wasn't something where they could just stick somebody as eye candy there. They had to get somebody who could deliver on the role. And not saying that Jessica Alba didn't, but she was. I would think we would all think that she was more eye candy than what Vanessa Kirby brought to the role. She wasn't wearing a tight spandex suit like Jessica Alba was. And again, no shade on those movies because I actually saw them both this weekend. I think they're enjoyable. I don't think they're bad movies, but the tone of both of these are definitely different. But thumbs up to Vanessa Kirby. She did great.
What you thought about Sue Storm, Mrs. Invisible, Cole?
I thought she was good. I mean, honestly, this movie gave me a spread of everyone. So I don't feel one character stood out longer than the other or outshined the other. Yes, Sue did her part. That scene when she showed Franklin, that was really cool. When she was when she avoided talking to somebody, she turned invisible. But it wasn't like a joke. It was like, she would use her powers for the right time. Again, I wasn't too happy about the casting. Wasn't too clear. Let me say that. Not that I wasn't happy. It was more like, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this off. But lo and behold, all four characters ended up pulling off all their characters. And again, it's about the writing and the position that they put them in. So Sue was great, but so was Mr. Fantastic. So was the Thing, and so was the Human Torch. So evenly on all four spectrums, I like them all equally.
And Cole, just to talk about your background that you have before you, if you didn't know this, because this is for the most part not an origin story for the Fantastic Four. What they did is they created a comic book which Cole has in his background to actually tell the story of the Fantastic Four. And I think they call it Celestial Rays or Celestials, kind of a thing that made them turn. It's all in that comic book if you want to read it. It definitely a good read if you want to dive a little bit deeper into the Fantastic Four. Let's talk about your favorite character, Cole. Mole Man.
Yes. Yes.
I got to tell you, when the Pan Am building dropped fire, and it made sense because where the Pan Am building was, they built the Baxter building, from what I understand in the way it worked out. But were you okay? Now, Paul Walter Hauser from Cobra Kai, and funny guy, things of that nature. Were you okay with that casting?
Now, when you say casting, he was spot on. If anyone, that's the actor that can play Mole Man, and he knocked it out the park. actually, from the glasses to his mannerisms, everything about him, he even helped out. It's hilarious to me how I still believe Mo Man is trash, but man, did he put some respect on Mo Man's name. And thank you for playing that villain.
P, I'm gonna go with you, and we've discussed this 1,000 times. If you ever watch our show, we're very on this. What makes a great superhero movie is the villain, and this is the first time I've ever seen Galactus this way, portrayed this way. I'm a little jealous we got the popcorn bucket. I'm going to say it on this show right now. I am still searching for it. I'm not going to pay more than retail, but I will pay the $80 for it. Did Galactus do what you wanted to do for what you thought it was?
Yeah, and again, I think we all have been waiting to see a comic accurate Galactus ever since we saw the Cloud in the
Horrible.
in the Rise of the Silver Surfer. Yeah, it was super disappointing. I don't think there's anybody who thought that was a good idea, but the director. It was just not something that we were all. And look, a lot of the first trailer, they showed him looking into the building. They showed his shadow in the background, and that was enough for people to buy in. Look, we're finally going to get Galactus. I mentioned Iman Vellani's Ms. Marvel's review of Fantastic Four in the no spoiler episode, and look what she said. I think that's I don't like to say it speaks for us all, but I think it does, because I think this is what we've been waiting for. He looked amazing. They got a good actor to play him with the type of voice that Galactus needs. So again, like Cole said, I think everybody cast was spot on, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't. I feared for World 828, which is a shout out to Kirby's birthday, Easter egg. So 828, August 28th is actually Jack Kirby's birthday. So they made the Earth 828 to sponsor him. Another thing, Cole, did you see when they actually went into a comic book place and it portrayed kind of like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby? There was a quick scene where they were there and they showed like an early comics. That's actually before Marvel. That's actually the comic. Even the little pictures and things of that nature in there was Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. They even had a store called Stanley's, which was dope as well. But Cole, did it give you the fear? Were you scared for this Earth because of Galactus?
Absolutely. So when you're writing these comic book characters and you're drawing them with this ratio, this aspect, right? 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000, and to portray that in the movies has to be very difficult. So when they first did Thanos, I liked Thanos' size. So when Thanos was fighting the Hulk is big. I think the Hulk is 7 feet 10 inches, if I want to say.
Yeah.
And then Thanos was about 8 feet 2 inches. When they did Galactus, it was spot on perfect. Whether even when he was walking on the street, when he jumped down from his ship and landed in the water, looking at the Statue of Liberty, like, for us, we look at the Statue of Liberty like, wow, this is a big statue. And for him, it was nothing but a little toy. Even grabbing Reed Richards and stretching him, and even Reed jumping up on him took a while. Using his hand to move. I mean, everything about Galactus was spot on. Another point that I like to make is when the Fantastic Four ended up going to meet him, and Silver Surfer said, "Yeah, he's here," and all you see is the eyes light up. I saw it in IMAX, and man, can I tell you, seeing it in IMAX and hearing it, yes, you have everything to fear when you be in front of Galactus, the World Destroyer.
No, Galactus was Galactus is up there with Kilgrave for villains, the way portrayed, in the sense of making them like the Fantastic Four is great, but again, having Galactus as a villain was amazing, and not having to force the whole Doom thing with the Fantastic Four. And I want to get into that a little bit, right? Pete, did you want to see Doom in this movie throughout the movie, or do you think it was done correctly by not bringing in Doom this way and only showing Latveria during that whole UN type of meeting type of thing?
And there was no representative from Latveria there. A cool, quick Easter egg there. But no, I'm okay, and I love Doctor Doom. One of my favorite villains. Like, he's up there.
You're gonna get a Doom bucket too, huh?
Hey, if it's there. But no. Listen, I think, and I'll use Batman Begins as an example. Of course, it's the Joker. He's the main antagonist for Batman, but you know what? He wasn't in the first movie. It was somebody else. And I think using Galactus and finally giving him his proper shine, giving us the look, we got an Avengers movie coming out called Doomsday where we're going to see our fair share of Doom. But no, I was okay with this. Yeah, I had no problem with them not just using him for the sake of using him. They used Galactus. They used another version, an alternate version of Silver Surfer, which I was a little skeptical at first, but nah, man, awesome. She was great.
Cole, quick question for you on this one. And I know I asked Pete the Doom question, but did you want to see Doom more in this movie?
I didn't. Actually, I did like the montage of them introducing all their other villains.
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna ask you guys both a quick question because again, we saw Thunderbolts already. We saw the post-credit scene in Thunderbolts already. We see that a version of the Fantastic Four ship is coming into the 616 universe. Pete, make this all make sense to me before we get into the ending of Fantastic Four. What do you think that is now?
Well, hold on.
Yes, Pete, tell them. Tell them.
Hold on to that question. So was the movie ruined for you?
Thank you.
Based off that ruined the movie, the after credits thing in Thunderbolts.
I was going to ask the same thing. Did it ruin it for you, Puma?
He forgot that he even said that.
I didn't forget, and it's why I brought the question up, and I'm okay with answering this question. I'm trying to make sense of it all. And you know what? The fact, and I think we talked about this with Superman, with James Gunn, right? We just don't know. And the not knowing and the direction that they could take, I enjoyed that. I watched The Walking Dead because they didn't stick to the comic book, and I didn't know which way they were going to take, and I read that book. I enjoy a different take. Cole, you said it countlessly times on this show. If you're gonna do the take, just keep me guessing, right? Yes. Am I wrong on that one? No, I'm not wrong on that one, right?
No, absolutely.
They got me guessing. No, Thunderbolts didn't ruin it for me. I do have a take on that, and I'll say it. So there are a couple of things in this movie why I didn't give it a 10. I gave it an 8. And this part right here that I want to be very specific on. Reed Richards, if you notice, he had like these little bots throughout the city, and they had mentioned it that I forget what the names of the villains that they were talking about. It was a very quick montage of this person's over here, this person's over here. If Doom was a villain in this universe, I'm thinking that Reed Richards would have known, right? But the Latveria thing being absent, probably someone there didn't agree with the whole Fantastic Four trying to unite people with the Mole Man and things of that nature, right? Or just trying to talk about the end of this world and things of that nature. So I think for the most part, either there is a Doom or there's not a Doom in this universe. And the ship that he has give me the name of the child of the Franklin. I think he's on a ship to the 616 because there's no Fantastic Four in that universe. So I think
that's the fun part about it for us to speculate and wonder. So that post-credit scene from Thunderbolts, that's why it got such a roar, because we don't know. We don't know if the Fantastic Four is in that ship, if it's Doom, if it's Franklin, if it's neither. We have no clue. And it's fun.
I'm clueless. I'm not going to lie. I'm clueless. But I do want your takes. Now, Cole, make it make sense to a guy who thought it was ruined. Make it make sense to me. What do you think that ship is now?
Well, I'm going to stick to what I said. I think it's Doom in that ship. It might be Doom on there with the Fantastic Four, the Doom of 828, not the Robert Downey Jr. one, coming to help. Now, there's a twist for you. That's my guess. It's a hypothetical guess, but that's what I'm thinking.
Pete, throw a dart at this. What you think it is?
But just let me add this. They did say that Robert Downey Jr. is the Doom from 828. That's what.
That's confirmed?
That's what I read. Yeah.
So if that's confirmed, then I believe only the Fantastic Four is on that ship, and not Doom and Franklin. I believe that Doom probably took Franklin with him and now forced the Fantastic Four to fight in Battle War. Yeah.
But again, I'm not saying it's fact. That's what I read. That's the only thing I've heard about Doctor Doom and their universe 828. But I guess we're obviously gonna find out more when Avengers does come out.
I know the Russo brothers filmed that post-credit scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's something up their sleeve, and they do a really good job. The same way Captain America got the hammer. So I'm gonna let the Russo brothers cook on that one, not speculate too much. But again, Cole, I'm with you. A kidnapped, because we'll get into the end credit scene and things of that nature. Let's talk about the ending.
Wait, hold on, but I want to hear Pete's part. Pete, what do you think? Make some sense out of this for what Puba asked.
Well, it didn't ruin the movie for me. That's
come on.
When you say something like that, you gotta freaking deal with it.
I gotta deal with it. It's okay.
You know what's ruining the movie? I came out the movie theater. I saw this movie called Sixth Sense, and my friend was just about to see it, and I told him, I said, "Oh yeah, he was dead the whole time." That's ruining the movie.
I honestly don't know. It could be them watching footage of when they went to go visit Galactus. Like we don't know, and I think that's a good thing for me, because I can't wait to find out what it actually is. Why no one from Latveria was there at the UN? That's the type of stuff I'm looking to find out in Doomsday. So I have no idea, but I mean, it could be anything. It could really be anything.
That's why I say, Pete, that the Doctor Doom in the post-credit scene is the Doctor Doom from their universe, the 828, and not the 616 or wherever this.
Again, it's not me saying it. This is what I read, and I was just like, okay. But again, how does it connect to the ship in Thunderbolts? We don't know. I have no guess.
It has a 4 on it. It has a 4. It rotates. It shows the 4. So. And he's in the Baxter building. The Baxter building is attached to that ship. So, again, don't know and things of that nature. I'm going to get to the end of this, of the movie. I was a little taken back how strong Sue Storm was and the whole thing. I mean, Pete, I know we talked about Invincible, about using like babies as bait and things of that nature. I didn't think it was going to work out. Like I thought Franklin was going to actually do something to Galactus surprisingly and be like, oh, baby surprise. But were you okay with that whole fight scene? And what stood out to you? I know you already mentioned Reed Richards, but in the sense of everybody, what stood out to you when it came to that final battle?
The plan, I know there was pushback on using him as bait, which of course anybody's going to be like, damn. I mean, but his thing was, I'll let you guys live if you give me the baby, which was crazy to me because, like, yo, why does he want the baby? Like, she didn't even have it yet. And but he was peeping that for a while. He's like, yeah, that's that. I need that baby to take away my hunger, which I thought that was cool. Loved when, but we're all waiting for something to pop off, and here comes Johnny and swipes up Franklin and takes him back to the Baxter building so he could be with Herbie, and they put an empty casket, empty a baby carrier there, and of course, it didn't fool Galactus because he did the scan and saw him in the building, and that's when you see his eyes come up to the windows of the Baxter building. But that was the best part for me when Johnny came, because I was just, again, I'm just into the movie, and then when I saw him come through and snatch him up, I was like, okay, they got him out of there before he got there, and
Cole, did you expect Shia LaBeouf to come through and knock Johnny Storm out the way?
Yes, I actually did. And let's give that character a lot of shine and a lot of flowers. Man, first and foremost, the detailing of how she looked was amazing because unlike the other one, Rise of the Silver Surfer, there's no true reflection off her body. And if she's all chrome and silver, you should be able to see your reflection, and you got to see that. So it was very detailed on that part. And what I loved about Silver Surfer was that she was actually surfing, right? It looks like they took the time to actually study how the surfboard is on water and how you can actually move with it. There was a time even when she was knocking down the towers that she was surfing on the water. But one of my favorite parts was when they were trying to run away, and she was kind of like trapped in this black hole, and the Human Torch was on the guns and shot at her, and she was just leaning her back onto it. Like the way she was just surfing and moving, that was absolutely phenomenal. I think she took her back because when Galactus said, hey, I'll take the baby, she probably looked at it like, yo, I thought you just wanted the planet. Like, I didn't even know you put this into it. And since Johnny, the playboy he is, actually let her know about all the harm that she's been doing only to save her planet, but all the other planets being lost, it's only fitting for her with the power that she has to come right in, not only save the Human Torch, but finish the job with Galactus.
Yeah, listen, the way I thought this movie was going to end, and again, and the reason why I said the spoiler, I thought Galactus was going to win. I thought the Fantastic Four had to escape this universe, and they're joining into the 616. That's when I said, man, they kind of ruined the movie, right? But that didn't happen. Like, I'm expecting Sue to die at that moment. I'm expecting, Reed Richards to get so stretched out. Wanda, another Wanda thing that would have been done. I thought they were cooked. But again, surprise, surprise, they didn't, right? So kudos to that.
Okay? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Because of what you just said, did you enjoy the movie?
I loved it. I gave it an 8. It's better than Superman. It's better than Superman. I think the storyline is better. The villains in particular were better. Like I said, villain matters, right? And I thought Lex Luthor was a little too whiny for me in the Superman movie. I thought Fantastic Four delivered a true scary villain. Like, I was like, oh shit, these guys are done. Like, Galactus as he's going through the planets and he's getting closer to Earth, as soon as they pass the moon, I'm like, oh yeah, he's a coming. And then when you see him do that drop that you mentioned, he created a whole tidal wave into New York City. Times Square was underwater. Come on. Like, I can't ask for more than that. The way he's walking, breaking down the building like it's nothing. The scanning, Pete. Yo, that was so hot to see through Galactus's eyes. I still want that popcorn bucket just to put it to my face, to do this to the house. I'll be like, through the walls, I see you. That's what I want. I want a popcorn bucket that I could do that. That's all I'm asking for. And again, let's just talk as an overall movie. I actually really enjoyed it, Carl. And I'll tell you this. What I loved about the movie is that prior to other Marvel movies, they weren't forcing the comedy. Like, there was no lines just thrown away and bullcrap. Herbie was dope. Like Herbie was there and created only to replace the Torch during the cartoons because I don't think they had the rights to the Human Torch or something. He was on another show or something and they didn't want to mix it. So they created Herbie just to make the Fantastic Four, if I'm correct. And I hope I am because that's what I remember. Listen, even the whole thing about the clobbering time as a joke, he goes, that's not my line. He didn't care to say it. But Johnny kept on messing with him with it, and even the guy say it. He goes, that's not something I say. That's from the TV show. I don't care to say it. And again, while I found that funny, it wasn't made to be a joke. He's like, this is not me. I'm actually a human person. I don't say it's clobbering time. They made that up for a show. But it's the jokes. Even with Mole Man, when he had he goes, hey, turn it down, turn on the lights, because he's in a dark place all the time. And while he came off a little funny, it made sense. Again, the movie was phenomenal. It didn't need, and again, I hope the Oscars see the acting for what it's worth because they delivered. The only thing that I wanted to see was the Thing doesn't want to be the Thing. He is hurt by the fact that he's not in a human form throughout the comic books when I read him. Ben Grimm can't find love. It's hard for him to find human connection. And I'm glad that they found a human connection for him. But I didn't get that portion of the movie. Again, that's what brings it down for me. I didn't like the whole Sue Storm just pushing him alone. I would have liked to see maybe Johnny Storm, they did the dope thing where they covered his eyes. They shot him in the eyes and it hurt him a little bit. That was fire again. But there were some things that I felt were a little bit of a miss that I needed to see to know the Fantastic Four as I read it in the comic books. But overall, honestly, it's just a good movie. Like, if it didn't have a Marvel title to it, and it was the Fantástico Cuatro, the way I saw it in Puerto Rico, I just enjoyed a good movie. It's not Marvel is back. I don't think that's what it makes it. It's not Endgame. It's not Infinity War. It's not Civil War. It's not any of those things. I enjoyed the movie. My 8 stands. I'm dying to watch it again. I do want to watch it in IMAX because it gives it the effect that it needs. I agree with you, Cole, on that one. I do need to see it in IMAX. But overall, it's just a good movie. And Pete, do you think it's just a good movie, right?
It was a fun movie. And I gave it an 8.5. I would have given it the same as I gave Superman, but it was for me. The movie was just too short. I wanted a little bit more, but they did make up for it with that after credit scene.
And so, Cole, I'm gonna lean on you on this one. I'm gonna tell Pete about this one, and we're gonna sign out. I hope you guys watch this movie. I'm not gonna talk about the second credit scene. It's not worth staying, guys. Please, once you see the credit scene that Cole's about to take you through. Just walk out. Just walk out. You're not missing anything at all. Cole, we got Sue reading to her son. She walks into the kitchen, I remember, and all you see, talk to me.
What you see is a version of a man or a woman, a person with a green hoodie and the Dr. Doom mask talking to Franklin, which was very interesting because I feel like because earlier what you said, Puba, if Doom was part of this universe, the Fantastic Four would already know about him and keep a close eye on him. So I believe that this Dr. Doom is their 828 Dr. Doom, and this is what's going to bring him out and about, right? So follow me on this. What I'm trying to say is the reason I feel like this is the 828 Dr. Doom is because since they didn't show Robert Downey Jr.'s face, it allows you to have another character play Dr. Doom in future MCU movies. So I thought that was pretty cool to have a little cameo to end it like Pete said. That was perfect.
But also, that's a good point. But also, okay, we want to use Robert Downey Jr. for Doomsday, but let's say there's a Doom in the Marvel universe as we know right now. There could be a Doom there, and that's when they can recast him if they don't want to continue to use Robert Downey Jr. So that is a good point. But yeah, I mean, for me, them not worrying about Doom is because Doom wasn't part of the equation. They're worried about their planet getting destroyed by Galactus and the Silver Surfer. So that's why I would think that's why they weren't really too concerned with Doom if he wasn't part of the problem. Not that they have to say, hey, you know what, guys, we do know about Doom, but we got to worry about Galactus right now. I can't wait for Doom, man. I just can't wait. Awesome end credit scene. Awesome.
Fans, I tell you, people who watch our channel, this is all raw. This is all real. There's no fluff on this. Fantastic Four is a must-watch if you're an MCU fan. And it's a good family movie, in my opinion, if you want to kind of take your family to see a movie and what it means that through trials and tribulation, things are going to come, but you need to stick together. The last thing I'll say is I enjoyed the fact that they recreated the Beatles scene. As a huge Beatles fan as well, I absolutely loved it, the way they did that. For Pete.
Yeah, wait, before we sign off, because I do want to talk about how the 60s, the comic book came out in the 60s, and they gave you that 60s feel, but futuristic. The production, the way it all looked was absolutely phenomenal. And I have to bring in an honorable mention. Shout out to the Incredibles, man. The true Fantastic Four movie that we got today is similar to the Incredibles. If you guys like the Incredibles, you will like this movie as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to sign us out. People, talk to us. Tell us what you think. Maybe we missed something that you wanted to talk about. We can continue this conversation. Just kind of put it on the YouTube channel and, of course, chat it up. I will absolutely respond to anyone that actually talks it up. For Pete, for Ko, for the Fantastic Four. Try to do a bars there. Pete, take us out.
We will return.
The worst episode ever.